Hello and welcome to this first look video at this new model from AtomRC. This is the AtomRC SEAL. Now I am a big fan of these kind of models. I've had quite a few Hobby King Bixlers in my time, Skywalkers, things like the AXNs and others. And these are fantastic layouts for pilots who are learning to fly. They're incredibly easy to launch, very floaty, very stable, very forgiving, inspire a lot of confidence. But they're not just for pilots who are learning to fly and getting into the hobby. They're also fantastic fun when you are an accomplished pilot. In fact, I still have a Bixler with an FPV pan and tilt setup in my bits and pieces here. So I wanted to get this one in because I've been impressed with the other two AtomRC models that I've tried out. First one was our friend the AtomRC Dolphin. I absolutely love the Dolphin. This is highly recommended, one of the most fun wings that I've had in a very long time. The other thing that I had in was this thing here. This is the AtomRC Killer Whale. This is a twin-engined model and it is very powerful and floaty and just looks fantastic in the air as well. Now the issue with a lot of the models that I talked about before, of a similar layout, things like the Bixlers, stuff like that, they're really showing their age. They weren't really designed for the modern age of fixed wings, where a lot of us are putting flight controllers in them and we're putting FPV gear in them as well. So this is really exciting for me because I want a model still gives me that high wing, very floaty layout, but actually has thought about things like way but a GPS, a flight controller, a nice big battery, your FPV cameras, potentially even a place to mount an action camera on there as well, if you don't mind changing the dynamics to that of a flying brick. So in this video, I'm just going to unpack it. Let's have a first look at it, and I'll give you my first impressions. Links below if you want to go and have a look. So while I unbox it, let's very quickly go through the specs. Again, this is the Eachine and AtomRC SEAL wing, G1500. Wingspan is 1500mm, length is 950. It's made of EPO, wing area is 25.7 dm squared. I guess they're talking about the wing loading. That's nice and light, it should be lovely and floaty. Recommended takeoff weight is about 1200 grams. We'll see where we end up. I'd like to put as big a battery in here as I can, and it's available in different versions. I have the PNP kit here. I didn't get the one with the FPV gear in it. So the first bag that we get to, nicely packed with lots and lots of bubble wrap. Unfortunately, my box got a little bit squished, which you'll see in a minute. The top of the tail kind of got damaged, and there's these lovely foam bits in here as well, which kind of stopping pieces getting crushed together and damaging the foam. So vertical stabilizer and rudder, just a standard foam hinge. You have a room in here for a carbon fiber reinforcing rod and a guide for the servo lead as well. Then we have the horizontal stabilizer. Looks like it's just a glue-in piece. Again, the elevator doesn't go the full length, interestingly. Got carbon reinforcement in that. Again, just the standard. Oh, hang on a minute, that looks like it will need something on it to stop it getting rubbed away. But if we kind of offer them up, you can see here that mine's got a little bit damaged in transit. It's not going to affect anything, but that's going to be a glue-in piece to go together. Oh, hang on a minute, got another bit in here. Ah, okay, this must be the FPV canopy with a nice flat area and routes for cables so that you can put stuff on there. Then we have the main body itself. This is quite a chunky thing. Let's open it from the end that's already started. This feels like it has all the electronics in here, so let's unpack it first. So we have the standard canopy and then lots and lots of electronics. So right, okay, so the first thing we've got out, we've got some flying leads, and we've also got the AtomRC ESC. This looks like the same little version that's actually in the Dolphin that I was a bit worried about, but actually works really well. It looks more like something you get in a multi-rotor. Aha, the motor, 2212 1400 kV. So not a powerhouse, but obviously designed for efficiency, I'd say, with a lower kV. I'm guessing we're going to find a reasonably sized prop in a minute. No name on that, but that's a pretty standard size. Here's the prop. Yes, okay, so we are going to go with a decent sized prop. So this is, what is it? 8x4. Yeah, it looks like an 8x4 electric prop. Nothing to write home about with that, so that's definitely going to need balancing if we're going to use FPV. What else have we got in here? Aha! Okay, this is the piece that goes underneath that part at the back to protect it. Good, I was wondering about where we're going to come across that. Good, that'll need gluing on to stop it getting damaged. We have a bag full of balsa bits, so motor mounts, extra little pieces in here, battery strap, the cover for the ESC, which is going to be in here somewhere. Can we get that out? Hang on a minute. Let's use this blooming big hatch. That's quite a decent magnet on there. And then we've got a box, little bag of bits. What are these? These are the servos, 9-gram servos. Look very similar to the ones that I have had in other AtomRC products. Digital, which is good. Fortunately, plastic gears. They won't survive too many crashes. I love this big hatch. This is huge. You can actually see on the other side balsa supports for also antennas. You want to pop antennas out as well. Not a great fit for the door on mine, but I guess that means it isn't going to pop off in flight. Looks like there's a space for a GPS. Nice. And can we see the GPS? No, not really. I'm probably going to have to dig that GPS piece out to mount it, just so that... but I like the idea they've actually put a GPS at the top. That's good. Try the main canopy, see what that looks like. So this is how it would be if we didn't have that other FPV canopy in it. Yeah, that's where the antenna would come out. Oh, hang on a minute, we've got another one of those things. Looks like there's a skid plate needed for that. I'm guessing that'll be in the bottom of the box somewhere. And then we have, just grab the FPV. Oh, that snaps in. Okay, that's a lot nicer. So we definitely got a place here for an FPV camera, potentially things like the digital stuff, and then we've got a camera mount here, a cutout that looks like can be pushed out at the nose for a kind of a nano-sized camera. Okay, so lots of options for FPV and flight controllers and GPS. So lots of thought here about modern electronics. A huge amount of space for the battery bay too. At the back we've got the mount for the ESC. This is where that little ESC is going to live, and then the motor above it. Very similar kind of mountings from lots of others. That nice angle. Just love the fact we've got the GPS pocket there as well, even if it is covered. So what's these? Okay. These must be the pieces that extend the wings, because this model unusually has the ability to have two wing sizes. So these are the extra pieces. So you have the main spar that goes through the front and a reinforcing thinner spar that goes through the back. So I'm guessing there's going to be multiple sets of carbon fibre at the bottom of here somewhere. And finally we get to the wings. So these look very, very familiar. If you've ever seen a Bixler, a Skywalker, an AXN, or any of those kind of models, I'm guessing these are going to look very familiar. Whoop. Some more of that foam in between. You can see how much it was needed to stop the control horns that are kind of in the control surfaces. There we go. So yeah, room for the servo. See the carbon fibre rod. Again, foam hinge. Looks like most of the building has already been done in it. You can see where the 9-gram servo is going to go. CG marks in there as well. Fantastic, good job. That's going to be one less thing to worry about. We'll see whether or not there's central gravity and throws are in the manual in a minute. So it looks like, okay, that kind of makes sense. So you can either have it the smaller wingspan, or if you want a really floaty model, you can add the extra piece in, which is how I think I'm going to try and use it, just to reduce the wing loading as much as I can and make it as floaty as I can. But the actual wings themselves are nicely finished. There's the nice turn up at the end. The aerofoil looks pretty sensible as well. Nothing particularly radical. Last few bits at the bottom. So we have the obligatory sticker sheet with a cute picture of a seal. Not sure I'll be using those. We have the manual. I'll have a look at that in a minute, see what it actually says. We have a set of carbon fibre bits, if I'm correct. Yes, there we go. So there should be a couple of sets in here. We'll have something for the tail, and then we'll have 2 sets of carbon fibre, depending on whether or not you're using the longer or shorter span of the wings. Very cool. And then, aha, okay, there it is. That is the skid that's going to be needed to be glued at the bottom. Would have been nice if that had come glued from the factory, but it's a very, very quick job to pop a little bit of Yoo-hoo or something on that and put it together. So those two pieces that are going to get the most abuse actually do have some protection, which is a really nice trick. So let me very quickly have a look at the manual that was in the box. Always interesting to see what is in here. It's amazing how much stuff they have in manuals like this, and they miss the important stuff, like what are the throws supposed to be. I guess I'm going to probably end up eyeballing it. The installation diagram is really interesting. You can see that they have thought about where everything is going to fit, including things like the VTX and other stuff, and there is airflow to keep stuff cool. That's a really nice touch. There is also a lot of the manual actually showing you how to put the individual pieces of balsa together, and also the main body as well, and all this has been supplied all pre-done. It's a bit of a shame there isn't a manual in here that just talks specifically about how to put this model together, because an awful lot of it, like the carbon reinforcement into the control surfaces and the control horns and all that stuff, has kind of already been done. But I guess we're picking it up from kind of point 8, where you're going to have to glue the the tail even with a carbon fibre rod. So a little bit on the ESC, and here you can actually see at the top the two different dimensions of the wing. 1500mm is with those additional pieces, which is I think how I'm going to set it up, or the 1100mm without. So far so good. Lots of things to like about this model. I like a lot of the neat touches that are in here. A little bit of a shame my box got a little bit squished, which did mean that the tail has been a little bit squished on one side, but you know what, that isn't going to affect how it flies at all. The flight controller and GPS mounts are well thought out. There's absolutely bags of room in here. You're not going to have an issue trying to get your, USB cable onto your flight controller if you want to flash it or change any of the settings. Also tons of room in here for your battery as well. Nice to see the little ESC hatch at the back so that it's kind of out there where it can get a little bit of air circulation. Looks very similar, as I said, to the ESC that is in the AtomRC Dolphin. That actually works really well, but you're not going to be able to get one of the big chunky fixed wing ESCs in here and get it in airflow without a little bit of work. I do like the idea that you can have two wingspans with this. I'm very tempted to build mine with a maximum wingspan, but maybe have a think about how I could potentially put it all together so that connecting and unconnecting the wings isn't a big trauma, because although there is these large hatches around, it isn't necessarily easy to kind of put it together. There aren't any of the kind of clever little connectors that some other manufacturers are using, which make that easy. It's kind of built to be almost like a one-shot deal, and I'm tempted to see whether or not I can get hold of some connectors that will give me a little bit of option in that, so that I'm not stuck with this thing, quite a big wingspan, being built all the time, because that's going to make it tricky to transport. The servos in this thing, I'll use them first of all. We'll see how we get on. They're digital, which is good. They are plastic geared, which isn't so good. I used something very similar that came with my AtomRC Dolphin, and they survived quite a few crashes, but a particularly nasty crash just ripped an aileron off. Elevon, I guess it would be, and just destroyed those plastic gears. So I replaced them with Emax digital servos, metal geared versions. I may do that on this in future, but this probably won't be subjected to the same forces as the Dolphin that's, flipping and rolling around in the sky. So we'll try these out first, but metal gear would have been nice. The motor and prop is an interesting combo. 2212 1400 kV with a, an 8x4 inch prop. Isn't a particularly high power combination, so this is really aimed at more of a floaty experience, which is kind of what I'm after. I have other wings and planes that are designed to fly them like you stole them, and that hopefully will result in a nice efficient setup with a decent enough battery. We'll be able to get the CG in the right place and get some really long flight times, but we need to maiden it and do a full setup in order to test that out in real life. I do like the ideas that they have thought about how the wings can go together, and they've give you different carbon rods depending on whether you want to go with the full wingspan or the shorter wingspan. And I do like the idea that the little screws underneath the wings that you can nip up to kind of lock everything in place. Again, it feels like that's designed to be a one-shot deal. rather than something that you can take off. A little thumb screw would have been nicer. I may have a look at seeing if we can change or tweak that stuff, or maybe use a 3D printable part to change it, just to make it easier to get those things off. Having some kind of catches or latches on there to lock the wings into place would have been such a lovely feature. Nice to see protectors in the box. I was wondering where those were for the main parts that are going to be skidding along gravel, if that's where you're going to land, so at least the body is protected. Probably not going to laminate tons of this initially, just while we get it up and see how it flies. The only things I'd really like to see, which I'm guessing you're getting a sense of here, is a little bit of thought about how to make both the tail and the wings detachable for transport, and also potentially to make them replaceable if you want to go from the long wings to the shorter wings easily, or if you have a disaster and you do snap the tail in a nasty crash or destroy one of the wings, that you can get a replacement and slap it on easily. Hopefully that is something that I can try and figure out when I start doing the builds and mods with it. But stay tuned, I will be doing some more videos on this as I scratch my head and think about how I'm going to build this out, because one thing that isn't on here is any modern FPV equipment or a flight controller. So I've got a couple of ideas, but I need to sit and have a think about how it's all going to go together. Thank you for spending your time today watching that video. You can find me in all the usual places on social media, and if you're trying to learn about a subject, then check out the playlist. All of my videos are organised into easy to follow playlists that, if you're trying to learn a topic, will take you from the basics right the way through to some pretty advanced stuff.